All right, time to jump into another deep dive. This time, we're focusing on Indian fintech, specifically Angel One's Q2 2025 performance. And we're talking hot off the press.
Fresh from October 14th, 2024, their investor presentation. And let me tell you, these numbers are interesting, to say the least.
Yeah, I know numbers aren't always the most thrilling thing, but it's something about getting a peek behind the scenes, seeing how a company is trying to navigate these big changes in the market, especially in a place like India.
No, absolutely. And they're not just navigating it, they're right there in the thick of it. I mean, check this out. Angel One scored a massive 21.1% of all the new DMAT accounts opened in India last quarter.
Whoa, hold on. 21.1%. Okay, time for a quick timeout for those of us who aren't fluent in finance speak. What's the big deal with these demat accounts? What are they exactly?
Basically, it's your golden ticket to the stock market in India. You can't really play the game without one. So picture a pie chart representing all the new investors jumping in. Angel One snagged a giant slice of that pie.
Right, okay, so they're a hit with the newbies. Gotcha. But are these investors sticking around? Is it just a revolving door? What does that look like?
Well, that's where it gets interesting. Their total client base is huge, like a massive 27.5 million. And get this, the average age of their new clients is only 29.
29. Are you serious? That's with practically Gen Z. Wow, they're going all in on those future investors. It makes you wonder, though, what this new generation is looking for in investing, right? Like, are they all about the long game, or are they after those quick returns? Or is there something totally different driving them?
That's the million-dollar question, right? And it's something we'll definitely want to watch as Angel One's story plays out. But it's definitely a smart move to try and connect with that tech-savvy crowd, the ones who grew up with all things digital.
For sure. And speaking of smart moves, the market has been, well, a bit of a roller coaster lately, hasn't it? So how's Angel One handling all that choppiness?
You know what's amazing? While the rest of the market seemed to be battening down the hatches, Angel One's average number of orders actually went up during like 80% of those down periods over the past 66 months. It's
Yeah.
like they're actually thriving on all the ups and downs.
Get out. That's wild. Like they're in the eye of the storm, totally unfazed. How are they doing that? What's the secret sauce?
Well, part of it is strategic. Remember all those new investors we were talking about? It turns out a big chunk of them, almost 89% in Q2 to be precise, are coming from what you'd call tier 2, 3, and beyond
Hold
cities.
up. For those of us who aren't geography whizzes, break that down. What does that even mean?
Think of it like this. Smaller, fast-growing cities, but not the major ones. Places like, say, Jaipur, Coimbatore, or Visakhapatnam. They're kind of like those hidden gems in the Indian economy. Tons of potential, but often overlooked.
Ah, I see. So while everyone else is fighting for a piece of the big city pie, Angel One's off discovering a whole new pie. Clever?
Exactly. They're tapping into this market that's not only sizable, but they're also eager to get access to financial products and services. And hold on to your hats because they're not stopping at just stock trading either. Angel One's making moves, expanding beyond the traditional brokerage model.
Oh, really? Now you've got me intrigued. Spill it. What else are they up to?
Let's just say they're embracing this whole concept of being a one-stop shop for your finances and taking it to a whole new level.
Okay, you can't just casually mention a one-stop shop and expect me to not need all the detail.
Yeah, right, of course. Well, they're really pushing to be the go-to for, well, everything money related, especially for this new generation of investors we were talking about.
Okay, so it's like they want their app to be the financial Swiss Army knife, right? You need to buy stocks, boom, done. Want to stash some cash in a fixed deposit? They've got you. Need a loan? No problem.
That's the idea. They want to be like the financial control center for this whole generation.
And is it working? I mean, it sounds good on paper, but
So far, the numbers seem to say yes. Even with the market being a bit rocky lately, Angel One saw their net income jump up by a solid 7.6% last quarter. We're talking 12 billion.
okay, full disclosure, I have absolutely no idea what that translates to in the real world.
Basically, they're making bank. But it's more than just the numbers
How do
themselves.
you mean?
It shows that their strategy, focusing on that underserved market, appealing to younger investors, building this really comprehensive digital platform, it's clicking. It's working.
Okay, yeah, I'm starting to see the bigger picture here. But are they playing the short game here, or are they building something that can actually last? Because the finance world is tough, right? Today's success story can be tomorrow's cautionary tale.
You're not wrong to think about that. Plenty of companies have gone belly up because they couldn't keep up. But Angel One's not putting all their eggs in one basket, so to speak.
Right, right, that whole diversification thing. We were talking about that.
Exactly. And one area where they're seeing really interesting growth is their mutual fund product.
Mutual funds, huh?
Yeah.
Interesting. So it's not just individual stocks then. They're trusting them with their whole portfolio potentially. That's a whole other level of trust.
Absolutely, it is. And it suggests that they're attracting a wider range of investors, too, not just the day traders looking for a quick buck.
It's more of those long-term investors, right?
Yeah.
Think about retirement, their kids' college funds, that kind of thing.
Right on. And honestly, the whole way people manage their money, it's changing so fast, especially younger generations. They've grown up with tech their whole lives.
Digital natives, right?
Yeah,
Born with a smartphone in one hand and a diversified portfolio in the other.
pretty much. And Angel One gets that. They're not just adapting to this new reality, they're actively shaping it.
Okay, so far so good. But, I got to play devil's advocate here. What could go wrong?
Hmm.
What are the potential pitfalls for them? The finance world can be pretty unforgiving. Yeah, there's always a flip side, right? What are the potential icebergs Angel One needs to watch out for?
Well, for starters, Indian fintech is competitive, like really competitive.
I bet. Everyone wants a piece of that pie, especially with all those tech-savvy investors entering the
And
market.
exactly. It's like a race to see who can offer the best app, the lowest fees, all the bells and whistles.
Right, like a tech showdown. But instead of ride-sharing or food delivery, it's your financial future on the line.
Right. And it's not just about having the flashiest tech either. Remember how people used to be wary of online banking, like really hesitant to trust a website with their money?
Oh, totally. My parents still use their checkbook just in case.
Exactly. Building that trust takes time, especially with something as personal as finances. Angel One has to prove they're in it for the long haul, especially to these new investors. Show them that their tech is secure, their customer service is top notch, that they're not going to disappear if the market takes a nosedive.
Prove they're not just another flash in the pan.
Right. It's about constant innovation, adapting to what investors need, staying one step ahead. They've made some big moves, but can they keep the momentum going? Especially as the market matures.
It's a high-stakes game for sure. And speaking of high stakes, they did mention something about getting into wealth management, right? That's a whole other ball game.
It really is. Wealth management is a different world. You're working with high net worth individuals, family offices. It's much more complex, much more personalized.
So just having a cool app isn't enough anymore.
Not even close. We're talking a deep understanding of things like financial planning, estate planning, tax strategies. It goes way beyond just buying and selling stocks.
So is this a step too far? Or could this be their next big win?
Honestly. It's the billion rupee question. They definitely have the ambition and the resources, but only time will tell if they can crack the wealth management code.
I guess we'll all be watching closely for their next investor presentation then. But in the meantime, they've given us plenty to think about, right?
Absolutely. I mean, with Angel One and other fintech companies like them shaking things up, making investing more accessible, it really makes you wonder, how is this going to change the future of finance? Will it create a more level playing field for everyone, or are we going to see a whole new set of challenges pop up?
Now, those are some seriously interesting questions. And I think that's a perfect place to leave it for today. The world of finance is always changing, and Angel One seems to be right there on the front lines. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We'll see you next time for another exciting journey into the world of business and finance.